Paris is great as a racing location. It's even the Champs-Élysées, so I cannot imagine a better place to fly.
The Champs-Élysées is such an iconic location around the world. I mean, everybody knows the Arc de Triomphe. To combine that with the drone racing, I'm just looking forward to getting out there and racing and sharing it with the world.
Well, I think Paris, especially the Champs-Élysées, is epic to fly it. I mean, like flying near to the Arc de Triomphe in the most famous street of Paris is like legendary. You never get to do that anywhere else than at DCL.
Last year they did it. It was I think it went to history books, but this time, and when I see the track, it's under level.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't believe we get to fly on it.
The Arc de Triomphe here, standing proudly at the top of the Champs-Élysées in Paris in France. Today, it's going to have to compete for attention a little bit more than usual, as 200,000 spectators are coming here to watch the launch of the Drone Champions League for 2017. Hi, I'm Matt Andrews and welcome to the first race of the new DCL season. We are going to be travelling all around Europe, showing some of the world's most unique locations and flying drones through them. We have the world's best drone racing pilots ready to fly at speeds of up to 140 kilometers an hour in locations such as this one right here. Let's take our first visit of today to our pilots area, where Vivi is talking to the teams getting ready.
Thanks to Matt. Also a very, very warm welcome from me here directly from the pilots area. I am so happy to be in Paris and I'm gonna check to a pilot. And here he is. Hello, hello. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What's your name?
I'm Johnny FPV in the drone world.
That's very nice. What do you think about the location today?
It's amazing. It was quiet this morning, but more people are coming. It's like the atmosphere is growing and it's becoming really special, so I'm excited.
So where do you see yourself in the race today?
Ooh, it's hard to say. We haven't had much practice, so I'm gonna play it safe, not go too crazy, try not to crash, and you know, what happens happens, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you very much and see you later.
Thank you, Vivi, and we'll be checking in with her and our pilots throughout the racing today. That's the stage here on the Champs-Élysées, where the pilots will sit in their teams to compete in our races. And then when we're done here in Paris, we'll be off to these amazing locations around Europe. Some of them you'll have seen in last year's calendar. We're going back to Reuter in Austria and the incredible Salina Torda, the salt mine in Romania. This is what they looked like last year.
have found Richard, and he's a team owner, and I have some questions. Why do you think the DCL is so special in the whole Drone Champions League?
Well, I think what's really special about DCL is the choice of where they race. So we have these amazing locations. Here we are in Paris, Champs-Élysées, in front of the Arc de Triomphe. We then head off to later on an amazing race course in Romania where we go 150 meters underground into the salt mines. We have an amazing race up in the mountains, up in an abandoned castle. So I think variety of racetracks makes it a very special racing league.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to me, and see you later, hopefully.
See you later.
See you.
And now Matt Andrews is going to take us through the track that will decide the difference between winning or losing in this awesome location.
The Champs-Élysées here in Paris for the first race of DCL's new season. This is where it will begin. These are the starting blocks into a 600-meter tunnel underneath the Arc de Triomphe, going from bright sunlight like this straight into darkness. Three closed air gates back to back. The first one is this lateral gate here, where they can choose whether they want to turn 90 degrees or whether they just want to roll to the right and dart through it. Then, through the DCL closed air gates, round a hairpin turn at the end, the Paris Drone Festival gate, and then it's straight. The Conrad gate takes you back to connector, and that's where you go onto your second lap. And after you finish that second lap, you go through the Conrad gate straight ahead. That's the crash gate, that's where you win.
So there's a lot of difficult hurdles to make before the teams can qualify for a place in the big final here at the Champs-Élysées. We start with 8 teams in a sudden death contest. So that means that every pilot must give 100% in every race, so that his team can qualify for the next round. In the end, there can be only one. We'll be right back into the action after this short break. Welcome back to Paris and the first stop of the Drone Champions League 2017. We start straight away with the first heat of the quarterfinals.
There we go then, our first race of the DCL 2017 season into the tunnel. A good start for Lavassier and Panaiva. We're on board right now with Timothy Trowbridge of FPV Racing fighting through that slalom. A good scrap between him and Strahl from Switzerland. This is Strahl now heading back towards the daylights. On the Champs-Élysées, they exit that 600-meter tunnel and they're heading up now for their first time to compete through the connector. A difficult challenge that coming out into our slalom. Strahl just finding his way through, going through the lateral gate, quite twitchy there, nearly a little bit too low on the DCL gate, but now he's heading back towards Paris Drone Festival. That's taken him down, he's made it through, but it's spun him around, he's facing the wrong way. Back now with Timothy Trowbridge, who is starting his second lap. Lavassier, he is under review. Trowbridge here, and Decomene back into the fight. Decomene with the yellow drone. Timothy Trowbridge chasing him down now as they're heading towards the exit of the tunnel with just over half a lap to go. Decomene leaving him a bit behind. Good line for Decomene through the connector. Less so for Trowbridge, and he's losing ground as they head up towards the far point on the Champs-Élysées. It's Decomene now all by himself, cleanly going through the Conrad gate and into the crash gate, winning this big heat, our first quarter-final. That'll be 1 point for Decomene, but nevertheless that's not enough. As FPV Racing won 2 earlier races today, it's them who'll be going through to the semi-final. But Vincent Decomene there, he should be really pleased with how he raced on this really difficult circuit.
It was a very close one, but I think we did the right decision because we had the strategy to put our faster 2 members in the quarterfinals. So I thought there's more stress in this one, and we're not that used to the track. And hey, well, it worked really well out. It's cool. I can't believe it. We're fun.
Next quarterfinal has the blue drones for Conrad Racing Team against the red drones of the Rotorama Czech team. We're starting on board with Shropi. A good start for him. A better start for Dino Yogi of Conrad, who's the blue drone up front, with 3 of Rotorama's red drones chasing him down, heading up to the Arc de Triomphe turn in the tunnel, and that is claiming a few casualties. Yogi is down from the lead. Shropeep down as well. This is Jan Mittner's view of Heiko Schenk going down off the bottom of his screen. Jan Mittner here is going to make it out of the tunnel, still alive. He's in third place now, heading up towards the connector. A big gap between him and first and second. You can see Mittner there in the middle of your screen going through the lateral gate. And in the distance between the Conrad gate there is Toman, who's well in the lead for Conrad. Starting his second lap, we're on board with Toman now. Going into the tunnel, heading up to that slalom, not hanging around. That is a lot of speed he's taking in there. Getting a little bit wild through the slalom, and he's put it into the ceiling. That'll be Toman down. And that actually left Jan Mittner as the last drone flying, which means he got the point for the big heat. And after Conrad and Rotorama had won a heat each earlier on, Rotorama goes through to the semi-finals 2-1 in front of this wonderful crowd of 200,000 people who are with us on the Champs-Élysées, watching this incredible racing with 8 drones. Jan Mittner got that point, but as you can see, not too happy with his performance, but he'll be getting another race later on.
The track is awesome. It's very tiny, but the technical part love it. But we still have fast areas in the tunnel. It's great.
Quarterfinal 3 has Next Blade racing in green against their sister team, Next Breur Free Flow in white. Good start for Free Flow. 3 of their white drones at the lead with all of Next Blade's racing hot on their tails as they come through this slalom. These teams know each other very well. They're both here as sort of part of this same unit. Now we're on board with Madru, who has his teammate Cher Jr. in the lead. Coming up to the connector, Cher very high through the connector, but he's okay. Around the slalom goes Madru. Currently then first 2 drones, both for Next Breur Free Flow. No, Cher is gone. We're just with Madru now, and Mac Poshvolt is in the fight for Next Blades Racing. In the green drone, it's Mac Poshvolt in green, Madru in white. Only 0.05 of a second between them as they came into the tunnel. There's nothing in this. Poshvolt now on board with Madru ahead of him. Out back into the daylight. The connector could be the deciding factor here. No, they're both cleanly through that. Again, so close together. Nothing really in between to call. Through the DCL gate, around the turn, on board with Mac Poshvolt. Only just gets it into the Paris Drone Festival gate, and he's hit the wall. He is down, he is out. After the Conrad gate, Madru takes it, he's into the crash gate, he's finished. We're now on board with Gary Kent, who's the leading drone for Next Blades Racing. But Madru has already finished it, he's taken the point. There goes Gary Kent, 16 seconds behind him.
It was so exciting. I didn't get a great start, but then following everyone through the tunnel, following all the LEDs on their quads, it was really exciting. I had a mid-air collision with someone at one point, but I think we both kept going, so no, it was a great fun race.
Fighting for our last semi-final place, Flyduino Kiss Racing will be the red drones there from Germany, and that is Niklas Soleil. They're going to be racing against Gemfan in the yellow and white drones, the Chinese team. Off the starting blocks, heading into the tunnel, everybody with a good start. Letev gets the best one, 3:32, but Val is 0.05 behind him, and Kartanovic 100th behind that. Well, we've had a drone hit that pylon there on the Arc de Triomphe turn. Going on board with Niklas Soleil here for Flyduino. We've lost Letev, we've lost Kartanovic after their great starts. They're not going to make it back out of the tunnel. Soleil does, so does one of his teammates, getting a bit close to each other there. Going into the slalom now. Soleil finding his way through. Val is ahead of Soleil though, also for Flyduino, so everything's going well for them through the Paris Drone Festival gate. On board now with Brandet, who is heading back onto the start of his second lap. Brandet with Bowles ahead of him. Bowles behind him now. He's gone underneath Bowles. He carried tremendous speed into the tunnel. Went straight under Bowles. He's swinging very wildly there as he tries to keep that speed under control. Now he's under the Arc de Triomphe turn, heading back out. This is Brandet for Flyduino. Looking like between him and Val, their place in the semi-final is pretty much certain. Good lines through that connector. That's one of the best routes through there we've seen. Val has come in 1:15.66, so that point for Val will take Flyduino through. Brandet playing now for second place, wanting to show that. This is on board with Bowles, who's got something to say about it. The point is gone. They won't be in the semi-final, but Bowles showing he can finish this at speed into the crash gate for third place.
Oh, it was a difficult round because I crashed in the first corner in the tunnel, and I was very far in the tunnel between the run-out guys, and I can rearm and finish this race. So I'm very happy.
We move straight on to the first semi-final here in Paris. In red, it's Team Rotorama with Thoman, Steiner, Mittner and Sladek up against Stutz, Heiniger, Strahl and Trowbridge from FPV Racing.ch in green.
So I don't think I have a goal with regards to flying drones. It's just that it took over all my free time, really. So I just want to enjoy myself flying drones.
To achieve the best performance, the equipment has to be tuned to the limit.
Since we are flying with Reconic system, we try to softman as much of the system as we can, like the VTX, the camera and antennas to avoid glitches.
Our first semi-final on the Champs-Élysées, it's Rotorama in red and FPV Racing in the green and blue, and they're in the lead with Trowbridge hitting the tunnel first in 3:59, but Thoman is less than a tenth of a second behind him. We've lost Thoman's teammate Sladek though, his red drone has gone. This is Thoman going past Stutz. Thoman into the lead for Rotorama. Great line through the connector, you can see how they've improved on this circuit, now they've got a few races behind them. Thoman going round through the Paris Drone Festival gate, heading up to the Conrad one, going really wide through the slalom the wrong way to get a line into the connector. Now he's down into the tunnel and carrying a lot of speed with him going into the slalom. Round the Arc de Triomphe turn, overshot it by quite a long distance, but he's carried so much speed, you can see the lead he's got there over the red and blue drone who are behind him. Out of the tunnel, and he's hit in mid-air. He's collided with Jakob Steiner, who is his teammate from Rotorama. That's 3 Rotorama drones down. We're now on board with Jan Mittner, the only one still flying. He can do it. He can take his team to the grand final if he can just get to the end. The lateral gate has claimed him, though. Jan Mittner is down. Now Raphael Strahl has passed him for FPV Racing, and he takes it home into the crash gate. FPV Racing, who weren't in the lead at any time in that, are in the lead when it counts, and that man takes his team to the grand final.
There was a lot of luck. Rafi did a really great job. He took the win for us, and now we're in the finals. I can't believe it. The first race is Paris, we're in the finals. Yeah!
Jan Mittner doing everything he can to get that drone airborne for Rotorama, but Raphael Strahl already passed him. He takes the win. He needed to be sure he'd got it, but yes, you do. You're in the final.
So the official results for the first semi-final. Strahl and Stutz from FPV Racing.ch finishing first and second, with Lubomir Sladek coming home third. Moving straight on to the second of the semi-finals for Flyduino, it's Fechler, Brandes, Sola and Val sitting in the hot seats, up against Scher, Pachon, Madro and Giuseppe Rinaldi for Team XBR Free Flow. But which team will get through to the big final? The Flyduino KISS Racing team seem to be pretty relaxed.
My goal at the DCL is to meet all the people. It's great to get to an awesome location like Paris, like Romania, all the great locations, meet the people and then race against the people.
And there's just one more hurdle between the Flyduino KISS Racing team and the grand final.
So my goal in drone racing is to make it a career. I'm almost there. I'm taking a break from university to pursue it full time, and luckily I have the support of some pretty big sponsors out there. So I just want to continue, try and make it sustainable, and just have a ton of fun doing so.
Our other semi-final has NextBR Free Flow in the white and green drones against this side, Flyduino KISS Racing in red. We're on board with Brande, who is nearly down, crashing with one of his teammates out of the starting blocks. They're both still with us. We've just had a green free flow drone hit the ground though. They're no longer with us. Around the Arc de Triomphe turn, going on board with Rinaldi, who is still in the air, but a huge hit from someone to his left-hand side. And he's been passed there by his teammate Pachon. Between Pachon and Rinaldi, they want to take this team to the final to race against FPV Racing. Outside now, Soleil for Flyduino KISS Racing, coming round the far point of the circuit through the Paris Drone Festival gate, heading back to start his second lap. We're on board here with Brande in the tunnel, just about holding it still together, going through very quickly. Soleil is in here now as well. Soleil still scrapping with Free Flow. This is Brande in the net. He's come out of the connector after doing the tunnel so well. He's put it in the net and he can't get it free. Now it's all on Soleil for Flyduino to get them into that final. A little bit kind of reckless, edgy flying going on here as he attempts to take it over Pachon. It's between Pachon and Soleil. Pachon's made a mistake. He's got to go around and complete that turn again, which means Soleil takes the win for Fly Duino Kiss Racing and sees them in the final to race against FPV Racing. Lucas Val looking so pleased with his team there on our stage on the Champs-Élysées. He wasn't so instrumental in that semi-final, but he played a massive part in the quarterfinal to get them there. You just saw a crash from Free Flow's drone in the tunnel. It is Fly Duino who makes the final.
So here's the official results of the second semi-final. Nicolas Soler, the only pilot to finish the race, thereby keeping the dream of victory alive for Team Fly Duino Kiss Racing here at the Champs-Élysées in Paris. The Swiss team FPV Racing.ch are going to be waiting for them in the grand final. Here's how they got there. FPV Racing.ch took out Wilprop and Rotorama. Fly Duino Kiss Racing knocked Gemfan and NextBR Free Flow out of the contest. And in the grand final, both teams will have to still give it everything they've got in order to claim the victory here at the first stop of the DCL. And the action will continue right after this short break. Welcome back to the grand final of the DCL in Paris. In the final battle, it's the German Fly Duino Kiss Racing team facing up to the challenge of the Swiss team FPV Racing.ch. Thanks to their super performances today, these two top teams have made it through into the final, but it's not over yet. Anything can still happen in drone racing. Just one mistake could end the dream of taking victory here in the shadow of the Arc de Triomphe. But it's not just about winning.
I want to fly with the others. I want to help the others if there are problems. And for sure, it's good to be at the first three teams.
And the Swiss team also have high hopes.
We want to be part of the DCL from the beginning, to be part of this race drone history, and we want to represent Switzerland and leave a good impression.
The grand final in front of 200,000 people on the Champs-Élysées. That's what they can see. This is what the pilots see. The reds are Fly Duino Kiss Racing and the green FPV Racing. Time to put those nerves aside and make this count and take the points for your team. Into the tunnel with Stutz of FPV Racing. We've seen some great lines. We've seen pilots get better as the day has gone on. Can they now hold it all together? Coming out of the tunnel, going on board with Timothy Trowbridge for FPV Racing, who is looking pretty dangerous. Quick, but twitchy. Maybe the nerves are getting to him a little bit. This is Trowbridge again, going through the Conrad Gate. That's a little bit smoother, up towards the connector. Kind of sharp turns, but he's quick with it as well. Going now into the tunnel. If he didn't know already that he's in the lead, he will see that there's nobody on the other side of this tunnel. As he looks back the other way, maybe he thinks there's nobody with him, but he doesn't realise that Soleil is right with him, alongside him and behind him right now. Up to the connector goes Timothy Trowbridge and into the roof of the net, which leaves it now just for Soleil, who's got to keep his nerves under control, throwing it a little bit wildly. A good line through the lateral. He stopped in front of the DCL gate. He hit the DCL gate. He's managed to recover it off the ground. Is he going to get it to the finish? Can he win this thing for Fly Duino? Only one more closed air gate to go. And into the crash gate finally goes Soleil. And that makes Fly Duino Kiss Racing the champions of the first race in the DCL 2017 season.
Well, I'm really excited that we got that far. We got a great copter, we got a great team, and this is an amazing place. And I've never flown at a place like this, and I'm really thrilled that we made it.
And the Swiss team are really happy with the result.
I'm feeling really happy that we managed to get to the second place, especially in front of this awesome crowd, and then getting home with this trophy is just freaking amazing.
And here the winners of the first stop of the Drone Champions League 2017 in Paris, the Flyderini Kiss Racing team.
I'm just really happy about how it went, and it's an amazing event with a lot of people, and we didn't expect to win, but we did, so we're just really, really happy.
And so we say goodbye from Paris and hope to see you next time.